diversity. Multiracial diversity. Transitioning. Transistor. 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 Fecal matter. Fecal.
Fecal matter.
Fecals.
Fecal.
Fickle.
Fecal.
My erection is aroused. My erection is aroused. 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 I like to watch people. You do some exercises with your mouth that allow you to have better range of motion and better enunciation, right? I can't move my fucking camera. I wanna. Okay, you know what? We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. I've had a migraine all of today. I've been congested. It's not COVID, but I've been congested. I felt like shit all day. I wanted to make a video. I had a couple things planned. I went to the post office and I had some things that I wanted to do, but unfortunately I couldn't do them because of my massive headache, which runs in my family. Hopefully, it's not a tumor. Hopefully, it is. Maybe. Who knows? It might be. Let me put this in a way so that it's better. I think like this might be better. So that way it's angled up. But hey there, guys. Hey there, friends. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Pigcake Live, if you want to call it that. I just ramble and rant and read your comments, for, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours. And that's pretty much what I do. That's what these streams consist of. If you want to ask some magic related questions, if you want to go off the deep end and we go into some really aggressive magic theory that some people say, hey, Piggy, you're full of shit. Hey, Piggy, whoa, dude, looks like you got a massive ego, right? You got a massive ego. So if you want one of those, we could do that. We could do that. It's going to be up to you guys. But this week, I uploaded a control. I was very happy with that control. Some people weren't. Some people were. They liked it. I knew that it was a little bit odd. If you looked at the control that I put on Monday, card control, of course, being when you control a card, right? And this one I like because it's a little bit of it bluff. It's a bluff. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth. Let me fix this. I hate this. My production value is that of a cheese grater. Look at that. I should just have it like this. Imagine if I did a face reveal, right? But all I revealed was this. So all you saw was this, just a mouth review, or in one of those ASMR channels. I looked up the trending page by accident on YouTube. That's the only time anybody ever presses the trending button on YouTube, and a lot of it was ASMR stuff. And the part that was odd about it to me was that this is the thumbnail. It's like this, right? It'll be someone like this, and it's odd. It's odd because it's I think playing on the sexuality of the lips. Hey yo, you ever gonna play Minecraft again? Yeah, when my internet is not shite and my connection doesn't drop, I'll gladly do a Minecraft stream. I feel like I need to get this. I have a line here, but I haven't activated it just because I don't want to deal with Comcast or AT&T. Lonely Goomba says, "What? Hey yo, what's up, dog? What's up, homie? What's up with your Goomba ass?" Of all characters from Mario, though, I don't know why you picked the Goomba. I don't know why you picked the Goomba. Maybe because it's an easier to draw. It's very easy. It's just a mushroom tip, essentially. Let me see your gains. There's not much gains today, but look at that. I'm just gonna flex like this. Hold the microphone with two hands and flex, and that kind of gives you an idea. But they're not really there. Again, I've been very sedentary. Is that the word? I'm trying to sound smart without being smart, but I haven't really moved much today just because I had a massive migraine. Magicians love controls, F them. But yeah, the control I put was fairly interesting. I liked it. It's a bluff, it's a lie, it's an attitude thing, right? I said the inspiration in the video was based on Daryl's spread pass, which he literally does in the open. Daryl goes, hey, watch this. And then does the spread pass in the open. And it fooled me the first time I watched it, the first time I saw it. I was like, whoa, how did the card get on top? Oh, he just put it on top. So it's the same sort of vein, I guess, if you want to call it that. Guys, don't worry, I'm here. Top notch. What's up, top notch 3232? What's up, my G? What's up, my N? You know what I'm saying? You know what N stands for, right? We all know in this trying day and age with Derek Chauvin on trial. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, Piggy, what's happened? Bro, I've been using plenty of demons for my magic this week. I'm glad. I'm glad you've kept up with your demon sacrifices in order to have the quota matched for your double lifts, you know, because you need to have a certain level of sacrifices every week in order to be able to do double lifts. So I'm glad that you've kept up with that. I fucking hate people. I really do. You know, one thing that I saw that I guess might as well talk about here because I saw it, and because what else are we gonna talk about, right? Illusionist Discord, right? I've been perusing it from time to time. It's interesting to see what people are talking about that are generally interested in magic. Don't get me wrong, I love magic, right? I hate magicians, but I do love magic. Been doing it for 21 years at this point. So, you know, obviously I have a little bit of a connection to it. In the videos that you watch, I might seem like I hate it. I might seem like I'm doing it, you know, almost like I've been kidnapped. I'm being kidnapped and somebody's holding a gun to my head and I'm doing it. But uh, it's interesting to see because now the meme is a tier list of magicians, right? And yeah, okay, I could go for the low hanging fruit and say, oh, wow, I'm not on it. I'm not on it, guys. But it's interesting to see who magicians look up to, right? They look up to essentially pedophiles, rapists, pedophiles. But you see the tier list, right? And there's a certain group of people on top, which I just find funny. David Williamson, I'll give you that one. He's a god among men. But then you see the other ones that people are almost giving godlike status, and you wonder why. What? Like for some reason, Vernon seems to be on top of that, which is okay. I guess some people think Vernon is great. I do as well for certain things, but we've had our quarrels before, right? Our quarrel. It makes me sound like that guy from that zombie show calling his son Quarrel. Quarrel, quarrel, right? I want to kill myself. But it's just funny to see that, right? So you see certain people on top, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, Eugene Berger, who's had a couple interesting situations from my understanding, and he's on top of everybody's list as an inspiration. And I'm like, well, he certainly inspires certain thoughts, but I don't think he's allowed within 100 feet of schools. Well, he's dead now. So even if he was wheeled in front of a school, I don't think he'd do anything. But Durag on and ready to listen intently to the insightful and witty commentary of one Pigcake Rodriguez. I'm glad to have you here, top notch. I'm glad you're still around. haven't done what I feel like doing on a daily basis, which is hanging myself from that ceiling fan. Which, by the way, I don't know if you can notice this, but okay, so the reflection is of that, right? That's like boxes of cereal right here. Those are boxes of like cardboard that are holding up the fan there, keeping it in place. I guess not in place, but like level. I guess it was off kilter or off skew, maybe. No, the right word for that. But it's there, and somebody put cardboard and duct tape on that. So if I were to try to do something on that particular fan, it would just fall, and I'd embarrass myself. So I wouldn't want. It's not like I do it anyways, right? It's just a joke. It's just a joke. There's a video I was watching of a pedophile. Speaking of pedophiles, caught by a hunter group, and he said Satan made him do it. Satan actually uses powers for something other than helping us virgins do card tricks. Yeah, yeah, he's very diverse in his portfolio, especially when it comes to pedophilia and magic tricks. So imagine those two go hand in hand, my friends. I still remember the oddness of Brian Brushwood, right? Brian Brushwood was not was he's one of my favorite magicians in the sense of YouTube, and I'm pouring vanilla, by the way. I want you to see my ratchetness. This is sugar-free vanilla syrup, and I'm putting this in my 7 Up because 7 Up doesn't have caffeine, doesn't have calories, and I couldn't find vanilla soda anywhere that doesn't have caffeine, so I make my own because I might as well be black. But yeah, so Brian Brushwood in one of his podcasts, it's very interesting because out of nowhere, he brought up the idea of magicians defending a system of tutelage that benefits pedophiles. He came out of nowhere with that. And he did get some flack on the Magic Cafe. Funny enough, he got some shit on the Magic Cafe for it. But I tend to agree with him. I tend to agree with him. He put it, I think, on a podcast maybe 3 years ago, what not 4 years ago now, in 2017. But I just found that really funny because it comes out of nowhere in the actual podcast, and he was talking about how magicians they put this mentorship, right. They want to instill this mentorship program, not program, or this mentorship mentality, where oh, you have to see me in person and I have to show you, like master apprentice sort of thing, that thing. And he brought it up, and a bunch of people in the Magic Cafe were like, yeah, of course the YouTube magician is going to say that. He's going to say that teaching people magic in person and mastered apprentice is akin to pedophilic, whatever you want to call it. Of course, he's going to say that because he wants people to watch his videos, but I think it's beyond that. But I just found it funny. I need to find that link and put it maybe on a post. But I still remember that little podcast. What am I talking about? Funny enough, you join it. I'm talking about pedophiles in the magic community, right? How funny is that? But no, I was just remembering Brian Brushwood of Scam School fame talking about pedophiles in the magic community. And I found that to be an interesting little thing because he's usually this very upbeat guy. He doesn't talk about real big issues, like real problems. And he brought that up in a podcast, and it wrecked my ass out of nowhere. But this was years ago. Best fat card magician, Bill Malone or Ricky Jay? Well, Ricky Jay's dead. So he's not really that good at magic, right? Ooh, I should have maybe put this on there you go. Ricky Jay's dead, so he really can't be doing magic tricks anymore, right? So I would say Bill Malone, because could you imagine giving a person like Ricky Jay, who's either ashes or bones right now? Is that very morbid? That you spend all your life building a craft and being good at something, and getting I guess adulation from hundreds of thousands of people for your amazing technique, and one day you die, and then you're just bones. So I think that Bill Malone's better. I think Bill Malone is better. How do you make a straw float? This is one. Or you could do this one. This thing, right? Look at that. And then you put your finger there. And then if you want to do it without your finger, what you do is that that's an easy penis joke. I could have made a good penis joke there, or a shitty penis joke, but I chose not to. You're welcome. James Charles, like 10 people came out. He's famous makeup guru this week. Yeah, but anyone could have seen that coming. Ray Charles could have seen that coming. That Ray Charles was out here looking at young boys and telling them, hey, wasn't he busted a couple years ago for admitting essentially to wanting to trick and straight guys? Like his favorite types of people is straight people that he could switch. Piggy, what do you do to maintain a work-life balance? Well, I mean, I haven't had a real job in 4 years. My last job was a teacher. I think I spent the last live stream talking a lot about that experience, to the chagrin of a lot of viewers of the actual podcast, or whatever you want to call this. But I mean, as a teacher, it was very easy because you had a lot of time. But in most 9 to 5s, it is very hard to maintain a work life balance because you are always going to be tired. It's like that pyramid that they give you when you first go to college, and it says work life, um, fun, or money, right? Or work life, school, or something. And it's like you can only pick two of these because the other one's going to be gone. So that's kind of what it is when it comes to work life balance. You're going to have to, manage your state and grind it up. When I was doing YouTube, also at the same time being a teacher, some days I'd come back, and I'd fucking hate it because you had a shitty day at work, you had a shitty day dealing with the shitty administration, and then you go home and you want to do anything but more work per se, or something that's gonna. But then you realize it's like you work for these people and you're making money. You want to do something for yourself. Doing something for yourself is very important, which is why a lot of people travel, which is why a lot of people have other side things, because you don't just want to work, go home, work, go home, work, go home, because then you're never going to have any sort of fulfillment. So you're going to have to manage your time. You're going to have to manage your mood, your expectations, in order to reach whatever goal you want to. So it kind of sucks, and it sucked for a bit, But luckily, I stuck with the YouTube stuff because that was a nice little trampoline for when the inevitable work became non-existent. Let's see what this is here. Okay, James Charles, pedal problem in the world. Just in YouTube to this week. Okay, you're mentioning about that. Yeah, but then you saying about pedophiles in the Pokemon community. I think every other Pokemon successful person is a probably attracted to young boys and girls. So that goes hand in hand. At least Magic, it's probably 1 of 10. It's 1 in every 10. In the Pokemon community, it's 1 in every 5, probably, maybe two. 1 in every 2 is attracted to minors. And I don't mean the people that mine coal. Let's see. You're making my day with this commentary. He named this pen is Satan. Oh, that's funny. Pen is Satan. What's another good trick for hecklers other than whack your pack? Well, I mentioned this in the last live stream, and I think it's one of the best solutions. You tell this heckler, you go, "Hey, do me a favor, help me out with this next trick. Could you hold the box?" And you give him a very awkward way to hold the box, like this. And then you do your trick, you do your set, and then at the end, when they go, "Hey, what do I do with this?" You take and then you put the cards in a box, and then you put it away, and then you go, "Thank you for helping me," and you look at him, and then as you turn around, you do this, and then you walk away. I'm already in the academy. Thank you, Jose. Good to have you. If you pay taxes, you are in the workforce. Yeah, that is true. I do pay taxes, and I'm sweating right now at the thought of the taxes for this season, which luckily they extended till May. But every time the IRS comes up, you just see a trickle of sweat. I remember a live stream from a couple months ago where my former landlord sent me a letter, and they said, "Hey, you got a letter," and the letter was from the IRS, and you could see in the live stream just a bead of sweat just come down. I'm like, oh my God. I think I was relieved also because I told her, "Hey, do me a favor and open it." So I don't know if I got that part on the live stream. But ooh, man. God, I'm so scared of the IRS. You don't even know, dude. Thoughts on TikTok magicians? There's only a couple that do it funny, in my opinion. Like, again, my opinion, right? So don't say, "Ooh, Pigcake doesn't like this." A lot of them do it really badly. They're very hi, I could do this. Watch me do this. Hey, did you know that if you just inside of an empty card box, watch this. Guys, look, guys. They say guys a lot, by the way. When you say that, it lets me know that you don't know what it is that you're saying. Like you're not scripting. You're just your improv is just saying, "Guys, look, wow, this crazy, guys. Wow, look, guys, look, guys. The card box now has cards in it." And it just makes me want to end my existence looking at some of them. Some of them do it great, though. Some are very technically sound, very skillful. But because of our retardation in 2021, our attention spans are negative. So you have to have that aggression, that loudness. You have to catch the person's attention within. In YouTube, they used to say, "Oh, within the first 15 seconds of a video." But now on Instagram and on TikTok, you need to grab somebody's attention within the first 2 seconds. 2 seconds of viewing your particular content, whether that's a picture or a video. You need to capture their attention in 2 seconds. So everybody does this thing where they go, "Hey, did you know?" I kind of parody that a little bit when it comes to some vids. So if you've seen my TikToks, they always end the same way too with the Pornhub thing because I just find it funny. But then somebody says, as for example, somebody on YouTube I think mentioned, "Hey man, why do you put the same jokes?" Because my content's not made for you in the sense of shorts, asshole. It's meant for people that don't necessarily have a familiarity with me that they click on. Maybe they get enticed by the thumbnail or they see it or they're scrolling down and you see it and it's, oh shit. Like they don't know the joke is coming. Whereas maybe that guy, maybe I'm shitting on that guy even though he's a long time watcher. But you already know where the joke's going, essentially. You know that if you see my name, it's going to end with a Pornhub bit, probably. So it's that sort of thing. Biden went live and talked about gun control thoughts. Any administration is shit, especially in politics. Well, I mean, that's for Pigcake Plus. I think if I start talking about politics here, I'm going to get people leaving comments on other people's videos on my comments on other people's videos, calling me a racist, fascist, homophobe, transphobe. So I don't think I can mention any of that on this particular channel. Even though Pigcake Plus is still me, right? So if I do it on Pigcake Plus, I'm still gonna get the same comments because it's still me. But I mean, gun control is always a big issue, um, as is mental health. So that's, I guess, kind of an indicator as to my take on that. But unfortunately, what happens is that both sides, anytime anything takes place, that unfortunately, takes some lives and ends with people dying, what happens is you get both idiots from both sides coming in and going, see, look, this proves what I'm saying. So what I love is that you could have the same video shown to both sides in the United States. I don't know how it is in other places, but on both sides, you could show the same video and they'll come with different conclusions. So they look at it and they come to different. So look at the same footage, the same statistics, the same, and they'll come to different conclusions just based on their interpretation of it, which is wild. But I tend to lean on one side. I tend to. I don't know why. I'm a little bit heavier on a different side, on one particular side. I don't know. I wanted to say you're a legend. Thank you, Goody Fan. I appreciate that, dog. Have you ever met a famous magician? What was the conversation like? I mean, I've met a lot of people, I guess. I mean, I've gone to a couple conventions in secret. The last one I went kind of openly in Ohio. But yeah, I met Ramsey, Xavier, all that. I haven't really met any crazy, like David Blaine, for example, Chris Angel. I haven't met any magicians with crazy name brands like that. But, like YouTube magicians like that, I've met. But they're people, man. That's the thing. The part that I realized is that they're people. When I was younger, I used to look up, haha, because of my height. I used to look up to a lot of these magicians, and I used to, kind of put them in this pedestal. But then you realize they shit. They're normal people. They're the same thing. So it's if you're looking up to these magicians and thinking that they're any different than you, I think that that's detrimental to your growth if you want to get to their level, if you want to get to what you perceive as their level. So they're just normal people. Hasn't aired yet. You're asking me about Ramsey's show. I have no idea about it. I have no idea about it. But I mean, it's great that they got a show. I think they got 2 seasons, as a matter of fact, on True TV. So that's good for them. I mean, what's odd now is trying to get a TV show in 2021, right? Because everything's going in the sense of streaming services. TV is, you could get as many views on a YouTube video than CNN gets in, the whole day. So it's interesting to see that you have people still from the YouTube side going to the TV side, But it's great for them because any exposure is exposure. They have great personalities. I met all of them. I don't Wes I haven't met, but Eric was a blast in Ohio. I was fucking hammered with him, and he's a great guy. Alex too. I haven't met Wes Ramsey. I mean, I've had a little interaction with him, but he seems like a decent guy. He's not an asshole. A hardworking dude. So good on them. It's always great to see that, and especially people that came from. You see their growth. So people like Ramsey, people like Leclerc. You see them, especially on YouTube. You see kind of their progression in the art, and you see them kind of grow up and kind of get to a position where they have some fame, and that's always great to watch. That's always great to see. From my understanding, there's still other shows that I haven't watched. Like I haven't seen that Justin Flom one, even though he's a little bit cringe from what I've seen on TikTok. I haven't seen the Justin Woman one, that one. I haven't seen those. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Ramsey show, but I might just watch the first episode, see what they got brewing, see what they've been working on. Piggy's good friends with Brad Christian. I met Brad too, right? Hopefully, I'll be meeting him soon. We'll see. I know how he feels about them being signed, says Joy Tulips. The blurry video makes me wish I were on mushrooms, but it's okay because we come here for the talk, right? I forgot who said that people, when it comes to videos, are more forgiving when it comes to audio quality than they are video quality. So you could have shit video but good audio and they'll stick around. Whereas if you have shit audio and good video, it's gross. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I have both. So what would it matter, right? It's a good mic. It's actually a good mic, so I have good audio. You fuck. Let's see. Would you rather be in a double act with Jabrizi or Rick Lax? Well, I'd rather do it with Jabrizi because I think that'd be interesting. So a double act. I'm like, producing cards, and then Jabrizi's rapping as I'm producing cards. So I'm producing cards to the beats of Jabrizi rapping, right? So I'm doing this thing, and then at some point, Jabrizi he starts doing manipulation, but he starts producing guns because he's from Chicago, so he starts producing guns, and then I go, whoa, and we have like a fun banter on that, like, hey, did you rob me? He's like, yeah, I'm robbing you, and then I go, oh, that's crazy, and then I do something magical to get out of it, so that could be a fun dynamic between me and Jibbers, we'll scroll through here. Hey, Piggy, tell me about how shit Di Vernon was. Well, what's funny again, you look at those lists on Illusionists, right? The tier list, and Di Vernon's on top of everyone's, and it's just weird, man. It's just weird. I guess people. I've never seen a good video of him. I've never seen a good video of him. Granted, there are stories, there are anecdotes, but I've never seen a good video of him performing that looked good. And I'm like, whoa, that's. But his writing is great. His theory is great. But then you see him perform, and the things are based on his performance, and it's like, you give excuses for your shitty things. So, yeah, like the cups and balls trick that you see online. Yeah, it's him older, but it still doesn't look good. You know. So I don't know. I just found that interesting, and then people hold him to this high esteem. He is a professor for a reason. People like Ricky Jay, from my understanding, have been inspired by him, but I just think that he wasn't a great person in a sense of a dad. And on top of that, from what I've seen, for example, Marlo Vernon, right? There's hundreds of videos of Marlo, and you could see his technique. You could see how good he is. Even him being old as fuck, he's there 70, hitting like bottom deals and second deals and doing these very complicated moves, and it looks fucking great. Whereas you see Vernon, and he goes, "Oh, my nail, I can't move because my nail." So it's kind of odd. I nail the triple lift every time I try to do a double. Oh yeah. So then maybe you should be thinking, oh, I'm gonna lift one card. I'm gonna do a single lift so that you do a double lift every time, right? Just a little bit of life hacks, right? A little bit of finagling, a little bit of life hacks. You got a bottom deal, Piggy. Well, my favorite one's the immediate bottom by Ed Marlowe. Funny enough, the immediate bottom deal. It's this thing, right? Where you're doing the Kelly move essentially. And yeah, it does have limitations. You can't do multiple, you can't do consecutive bottoms. But I love it because it's under the cover of pushing a packet, so the misdirection is always heavy. But I've always enjoyed that particular bottom deal. You're doing it from that grip, which is very dope. But I like that one. I don't like the consecutive ones. If I do a bottom deal, it's only ever in the context of like demonstration of, oh, this is how they deal from the bottom. So it's possible in that sense, but I like that immediate one. That immediate one's fucking great. Just to get virginy, right? Oh, I know. How about try to work on your social skills instead of wondering what your second deal looks like? Says top notch. I bet you could probably, knowing you, and having seen your not in person, but just based on your modeling like physique, you could probably be the only person on the planet to get pussy with a shitty second deal. Like you could probably hit up a girl and be like, "Yo, did you know this is how gamblers? Did you know that this is how gamblers cheat?" And you show it to them, and they're like, "Oh my god, Ty, that's crazy. You only suck that Simone dick." You know. So I think that you're the only one on the planet that could probably get away with that. I do the triple lift with four cards in my hand. Makes it really easy. Yeah, how about you do that in you do an ambitious card trick and you go, you know what? We're just gonna do it with four cards. How's that? And they go, no, I want to see you do it the whole deck. But then you go, no, 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 no. It's better with four cards. Trust me. So you get into an argument with them as to why you're using four cards, and it's because you could only do it with four cards because you could only fucking do a triple lift while holding four cards. That's funny. What do you think of card throwing working on a mentalism X card throwing performance? Is an odd combo, but kind of works. That's weird. That's a definite weird combo. But that sort of shit is what stands out. That's how you stand out. You make these weird combinations, and they work. They work. I can't imagine how it works. Maybe in a sense of think of one of these. Yeah, let me throw it here. I feel like the combo, if it's not contrived, it sounds great. But definitely sounds interesting. But that's where you want to be. You want to be mixing things that shouldn't mix. If you mix them, then you stand out. You're doing something that nobody else is doing, and therefore, if you want that attention, if you want people to pay attention to what it is you're doing, that's the best way to stand out for sure. Oh, I really wish I could get drunk with Piggy and high with Mario Lopez. Well, me drunk. I'm trying to think of me drunk. I'm a decent drunk. I'm not an annoying drunk. I know plenty of really fucking annoying drunks, and great people. But then when they're drunk, it's just like how did I befriend Hitler, the Hitler of drunks? But I think I'm a decent drunk. I'm not obnoxious. I'm not loud. Maybe I'm loud, but I'm not obnoxious. You know, I know where I stand. People get confidence when they're drunk. I don't get any of that. So I don't get like the hey, what's up, man? I don't get any of that thing. I'm not selfish. A lot of people that I know get selfish when they're drunk. I'm still part of the group when I'm drunk. That's it. That's the only difference. But it's a fun time. I don't get it. How do you do a bottom deal with a Kelly replacement off the table? Well, what you're doing is, I mean, if you want to look up the video, I don't know if it's good. The video, I need to reshoot it maybe, but it's an older video. And what you're doing is that you've already dealt packets in your on a table, right? So let's say you have a couple packets or maybe one packet on the table, and then you want to do the bottom deal. So you do this little bad thing right here, right? You separate that card from the rest of the deck, and then as you push, so you transfer the deck from the left hand to the right hand, so that you could push the packet that's on the table. And then when you're pushing that packet on the table, that's when you do the this separation, this Kelly move separation. Then you're going to place this deck back in your hand, and at the same time, that's when you deal the bottom card out as you're dealing cards on a table. It's a wonderful move by Ed Marlowe, and it's tremendous because it subverts any sort of hard methodology for the bottom deal, but it's limited in its applications. That's for sure. But it's definitely a lot easier, and I prefer it. But I think in Malone X Marlowe or whatever project that was, he talks about that one. There's some other ones. There's some other ones where that move is shown, but it's a tremendous thing. Look it up on YouTube. Just look up immediate bottom deal, and I think my video would come up. Piggy, it's all over now that I have braids. Oh shit! You got braids? You got braids? What are you trying to court a girl of color? Is that what you're trying to do? Good on you, man. In my bouncer experience, short dudes were the worst but most entertaining. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, right? I hate short people. I don't like short people. Every time I see a short guy with like that, he comes in with like a dress shirt, to whatever bar. He obviously just looked at GQ magazine, right? He came in with a dress shirt. He looked at Alpha M's videos. His nails are all trim. He just got a fade, a perfect fade, and he's there. It bothers me because it feels like you're just trying to hide the fact that you're short. I embrace it. I'm short, and I live the short, right? Those guys, I think they're ashamed of being short. And you also see them puff up their shit, right? Try to be a little bit taller, so they'll puff up their shit and they'll walk too erect. I hate short people. They're fucking terrible. I'm trying to think of the last experience I had with a short person, but you see them and they're just walking behind a crew like this, like they're meaningful. My The worst thing is when you have a crew. All my friends are tall, but you have that one guy that's overcompensating, right? That's short, so he's hanging out with the tall guys, and they're the three guys walking to the bar like there's a purpose, like dude, you're walking into a bar. Like, what are you getting at, huh? You're gonna go to a bar, you're gonna order a drink. You're not just gonna walk right into a pussy. Sit down, relax. We're all here. Everyone has seen the Richard Turner act. Well, everyone except Richard Turner, that is, says Corn Pop. What's damn? Richard Turner. Are you gonna give another what's next? Monty Gilbert? Huh? No hands? Can't do a can't they can't catch your palm when you don't got palms. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that, right? Piggy, I'll send you a picture. I turn the notifications off on my phone, so I have to check on Instagram, which is very rude during a live stream. But let me check on Instagram. I assume you sent it there. Let's see. You probably deleted your Instagram because you're in probably one of those moods. Maybe top notch money wasn't worth it. Babysitting adults, basically. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Some of the bouncers just in the local bars, it's always the worst job because you're dealing with the drunk bitches that think, I got this, guys. I got this. Don't worry. Yeah, Samantha. I called earlier. It's like, no, you fucking didn't, bitch. Step back to the back of the line. Remember, one of my friends did that. One of my friends tried to get into this massive line at this terrible Spanish place, and she's like, no, 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 I'll talk to the bouncer. She didn't get in. She didn't get fucking in. Because of course not. Why would you, bitch? Block me on Instagram too, bitch. Hey, you're one of the funniest comedians. You're awesome. Comedians? Am I funny to you? Am I some sort of clown to you, huh? A comedian. I'm more than a comedian. I'm a magician. All right? Comedian. Wow, that's fucking insulting, my Victor Blandino, the comedian. Like I'm some sort of clown to be paraded with the circus. All right, I'm just gonna block you for that. Wouldn't that be an asshole thing of me if I do that? I'm not gonna block you, of course. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Um, let's see. In fairness, most people are short compared to me. It's the opposite for me. Everybody's taller compared to me. See, Stefan, you'd be so proud of me. That's funny because Stefan is a person of color, and braids is something that people of color typically say, hey, you're culturally appropriating. Stop wearing braids. Even though the Vikings, the white Vikings, had braids, essentially. The opposite, you live in COVID City. I'm disappointed. Also, you guys are having a whole conversation here with that. Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me be a part of this and making me feel like Dark Side Phil. You get private lessons? If so, do you take EBT? That's funny as shit. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Do I go and get it and use it? Can I buy condoms with EBT? Can I buy collard greens with EBT? That was a low hanging fruit. What do I think of Ricky Jay? I love Ricky Jay. Ricky Jay is one of those magicians that you wonder. You look at him and you look at his performances. You look at how he talks. You look at him on how he, he's having essentially what is a very long-winded, very word heavy, highfalutin is the word, and he's saying all these things perfectly. And you watch that act on HBO. I think it's on YouTube as well. Perfect. It's a perfect act with the watermelon, and you watch videos of him doing the same act in the 80s and 70s, and you see the growth on that, which is tremendous. But what I love is that he has that one bit with the watermelon, right, where he hits it, and he's this upsets the watermelon, you know, this aggravates the watermelon, and then he hits you. Oh, this pisses me off, and it's just a wonderful progression. And even any magician that does like the ace assembly. There's only been two people that have ever done it right, and one is Ricky Jay, the other one's David Copperfield. And the only reason Copperfield got away with it is because he's fucking hot. He's attractive, or he was attractive at the time when he was doing it. That's the only reason why he got away with that. But and Ricky Jay, because of just his story and the way he performs it well, it's just a thing of beauty. Watching Ricky Jay do an ace assembly. But then you have other magicians that are fucking. It's like a virus. If you go to the magicians only page on Facebook, every magician does an ace assembly, and I think they're all trying to copy the Dream of Aces one. They're all trying to copy it, and it just comes out looking like a Wish.com, Wish.com, David Copperfield. Actually, better yet, a Wash.com. David Copperfield. Imagine you're such a shitty knockoff that you're a knockoff of the knockoff website. You're not even Wish.com, Wash.com, hashtag. No bouncing and bartending seems to be so unpleasant. Clubs, bunch of overgrown children. Yeah, especially in those high tourist areas like here in southern Florida, where essentially all the tourists think that they're, the hottest shit. And you see them lined up for the worst clubs, by the way. That's how you know the tourists, because the people that know go to certain places, and then you see the tourists line up like sardines in certain of the tourist trap spots, and they're paying $100 to get into a place to pay $30 for a shot of Tito's vodka, and you go, oh, you're a retard. Okay, I didn't know that. I could have guessed maybe by your outfit, but yeah, that's doesn't seem like a pleasant experience being a bouncer, bartender at even a high end place. Yeah, you might get some tips, you might get some promises of a little bit of this, but it's definitely not worth it for the drunk bitches and the just the pulling people apart. No, thank you. Great value, David Blaine, running around in tight ass shirts. That's a nice top. Does it come in your size? Thank you for that. Great value. Is Great Value Walmart or Walgreens? I can't believe I'm not Wish.com, David Blaine, but I'm Great Value, David Blaine. Max Gibson says, hey Piggles, Piggles X. I think the correct one is Pigga. Sup, Pigga? You know, if you really want to be hard, hey, sup, Pigger? Sup? I'll accept any one of those. I won't be offended. Uh, let's see. Piggy do a video on a triple lift. I mean, a triple lift is it's the same shit as a double lift. That's it, right? Daryl's got a great one where he hits this thing right here. You see this? He does this thumb count, transfers it over, and then that's a triple lift. There you go. Look at that. Easy as that, right? You could do. Let me see if I could do the D'Amico, where you do this thing. Yeah, I can't do that shit. Are you a move monkey? Nope. Suck dick. But look at that. You could do that. That's a good one. Triple lift right there. See that? From a thumb count. So that's a hot one. If we're talking in terms of words that are said by celebrity magicians from New York City. But that's just a nice triple. And you're doing the same exact thing as a double lift. The only difference is that you are now holding three cards. So you can't be as thick, you can't be as open with this as you can be with a double lift. But apart from that, you're good to go. And if you want to be a fancy asshole, you could do one of those one-handed moves. You see that? Let's see if I could do that again, but legitimately. Oh, yeah, right there. Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's the virginity that gets me all the ladies' phone numbers. All of them. All the ladies hit me up constantly, and they go, whoa, I just saw you do that double lift, dude. Tourists are the worst. I live near Dollywood, so I had to deal with those fuckers all summer. These people, here we have a place called Winwood that all the hoes take pictures, even the tourists. Every place now, every like modern edgy hipster place has the wings. So you see people lining up to take pictures in front of the wings like this, right? They do one of these. They pop their ass out, or they'll just stand in front, and the wings are painted on a wall, and you go, all right, we deserve COVID. We deserve COVID. Pigcake, do you think it's a good idea to get out of big cities and grow your own food? No, unless you're interested in farming. Grow your own food. That's kind of nuts. I mean, if you want to do it, yeah, by all means. It just seems like a very niche thing. I'm sure that maybe you do that, seeing that your name is now open for lunch. So it sounds like maybe what you do. But that just seems like a very complicated, because you also dependent on the season, no? Like assuming you're growing natural, you're pretty much the nature's bitch at that point, which seems like a very aggressive thing. Certainly, I'm too lazy for it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't have the patience for that. I know people grow their like parsley and shit. They grow their own dill. They make their own dill into dough, otherwise known as dill dough. Ah, man. Sometimes I want to shoot up a school. Let's see. How do you grow cheeseburgers and pizza? Well, I've been eating nothing but like low calorie pizza for the past 3 months, essentially. Every time, like all I eat is just low calorie protein pizza. Just fucking low calorie cheese, low calorie sauce, low calorie. If I even want to call it a tortilla or a pizza dough base, boom, and a turkey bacon, which is the least caloric thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I don't understand how 16 slices is 70 calories and 15 grams of protein. I don't get it, but it works. Whatever I can, I'm gonna move out this city in the country, tend to a farm. I'm just doing a city game as good as I can while I have to. That's a good one to add a Lamau to. Let's see. Trash Rhino. I think I read that correctly. Says, do you do real black magic? Yes, yes, I do real black magic. In both senses, whether that's magic for blacks, right? Or I do black magic in the sense of I every morning, when it's the blood moon, I go outside and I find the nearest chickens. They have to be. I can't have chickens in captivity and then kill them. They have to be like free chickens, and then when you kill them, you make their blood into like a paste, and then with that energy that I've absorbed from the chicken, I kind of rub it on myself, and then I could then do tricks. I could then levitate stuff, you know. So that's my secret. Max Gibson says, "Have you bought any new magic recently? Anything you've gotten your eye on? Always interesting to see what's on other magicians' radar." Well, I was looking at Mark Oberon's bit. So Mark Oberon has that insight. As a matter of fact, on the Academy, not the show, the Pigcake Magic Academy, but one of the things that I just recently taught was an ancient idea that's pretty much the same thing as that. But I was interested in looking at that Mark Oberon bit just because it's a crazy shit. It's like you're able to look at the thing and then just do that and then bring it back and get a peek through the packet, which I found crazy. Especially, he did a live stream on Murphy's Magic and he showed how the gimmick works and what it is. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that's one of the things I was looking at, but nothing else really. I don't know if there's anything that stands out in my mind in terms of things. Not really. There's nothing else that stands out. That's the only thing that came to mind, just based on what I've seen on the market. I mean, I from time to time, what I do is that I look at Penguin Magic. So I'll just check out Penguin Magic and see what's new, and see, oh, this is what people are doing. This is what people are checking out. Any card at any numbers are always apparently selling hard, um, and shit like that. But it's just easy to get caught up and buy shit you're not going to use. You know, it's very easy to do that. The other one I was looking at, as a matter of fact, is that wallet by D. Christopher. I was interested in that just because it looks cool. It looks interesting. It's a nice little thing. It's a functional thing. It's not just a prop. It's something you could carry on you. So I was looking at that, but I wasn't I wasn't too interested in picking up another wallet. I already have fucking so many wallets. I'd move out of the city and order all my eats from Whole Foods via Amazon. Let me tell you, Whole Foods is a miserable place. You go to a Whole Foods, and now when Amazon bought them, it's all online orders, and you see the people just with no souls, just taking the things into the carts. It's just kind of an asshole thing. Just go to the grocery store. Just buy the groceries. Don't be an asshole. I think you said on a stream that your mom can manipulate energy or do real magic. Yeah, yeah. My mom's one of those Reiki people, and I used to be very cynical about it, but you know, it makes her happy, so why not? Why not? So she believes in all that, and like waving your hands over. I heard screaming. I heard screaming. I don't know if that's a good thing. We'll find out later. Let's see. The Pick Cake, Card and Corn Academy plus the Mentalism are everything you need to go from a professional to a beginner. Yes, thank you for my advert. Thank you for my advert, dog. Thank you for my advert, dog. That's what I'm talking about. Pigcake Magic Academy, $5 a month, gets you 2 videos every single week going over card and coin stuff. Also, you get access to the piggybacker tier videos, which is 2 additional tutorials I don't post anywhere else. That brings the total to 4 videos. It just said hello. It's him. Piggy, he's back. Don't say that. I don't like that. Jesus. The amount of noises that I hear outside from the crackheads is tremendous. Let's go over this one. I tried selling my soul to Satan, but he said no, so I'm now a mediocre guitar player. Sam Hyde is one of my favorite fucking people in the sense of his comedy, right? And he had a joke, a bit like a skit, where he talks about what if he sold his soul to Satan, but his soul wasn't valuable. So he's arguing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I want a nice car," and then Satan goes, "How about a Honda Element with decent transmission?" So his soul is essentially worth as much as that. It was a tremendous bit, but I just found that funny. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell my soul for this." It's like, what if your soul is not that valuable? You know, what if your soul is really not worth as much as you think? Sam Hyde's TED Talk is one of the funniest things. Yeah, it's fucking tremendous. And the great thing is too, people still report him every time something happens. They call in the phone lines and they say it's Sam Hyde, it's Samuel Hyde. But I find that really fucking funny. But his TED Talk is tremendous because he lied to the presenters of the TED Talk, which shows you how full of shit TED Talks are. I thought TED was like a big thing. I've seen TED Talks with like 200 views where they're doing a speech, that people hired them for with the whole stage and all this shit. And it has like no views, which I would think maybe you'd have the backing of the company or whatever it is. But as anybody could do those, and they're so self-aggrandizing, and they're so bullshit because you'll have somebody like a woman that's morbidly obese. That's my favorite one. She's like a morbidly obese woman, and she's like, "What is the first thing you see when you think of me? Hmm? Or sorry, what's the first thing you think when you see me? Is it that I'm fat? Is it that I'm overweight? Is it that I'm unhealthy? Well, I'm here to prove to you that I'm none of those." I think she died of a heart attack. Who sent me? Oh, JT. Look at that. The Discord notifications. Is that for me? No, that's I think general. I don't remember. I saw you comment on a random video and I grilled you for not being in the streams. No way. Is that really? That's funny. Dude, that is so funny. If you see somebody's comments, people see my comments on videos and they call me a racist. So there's a difference. They go, "Hey, aren't you that racist?" No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not racist. Love everyone. I hate everyone. Actually, as a matter of fact, I hate everyone. So is that racist that I hate everybody? What do you call that? Right? I don't like anyone. Let's see. I'm literally awake only because I'm being overworked and I'm going to sleep at 2 a.m. What a tremendous, tremendous self health you have there. Did she die of a heart attack on stage? No, 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 no. She died afterwards. But she has this whole speech where she's there like a muffin, and she's talking about that. But that's the sort of TED talks you see. So I'm like, okay, so anybody could do a fucking TED talk. But Sam Hyde poked at that self-aggrandizing sort of air that they have, which was the funniest thing. If you get an opportunity, watch it after the stream. It's so funny. And it's so awkward because he's going over what the world would look like, I think, in 2034, and it's really fucking funny. It's absurd, but just the subtext is hysterical. Kelly Drinkwater is the woman you're referring to. Lovely, ironic name. Is that really her name? Mind you, this is coming from a guy that's probably drank more Seven Up than water in the past couple days. Let's see, Piggy. This is one of your OG commenters. You need to show your appreciation for him. He got a woman and everything, he's grown. That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's the sort of bombastic. That's the life that I want of a commenter on my videos from years ago. That they come back and they go, "Whoa, dude, you're showing your face. I haven't seen your videos in forever. I moved on. I got a girlfriend. I've stopped doing magic tricks." That's the type of comments that I like to see because it lets me know you've grown up. You've now broadened your horizon, right? You've now left the confines of magic, and you are now a better person because of it. So good to see you, man. I can't pronounce your name because I don't want the furniture to start floating around me, right? But good to have you, dog. Good to see you around here. Top Notch doesn't necessarily have to. Top Notch didn't have to remind me of that. I would have said it regardless. All right. But thank you, Top Notch, for bringing it to the forefront of my attention. I appreciate that. But thank you, man. Thank you for sticking around, coming back, going out of your life crevice of dealing with a woman and going, "Hey, man. Hey, nice to see you here." Oh, let's see. Yay, yay, yay. Capitalism is so poggers. I love it when my boss doesn't care if I live or die. Well, you could be a socialist where you're only as strong as your weakest link. Sounds good though. I hate that you could see me here. Fuck, that ruins everything. You could see me there. That's stupid. Let's see. The lady who was sweating and out of breath just doing a TED talk. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it, honey. It's tremendous. She's just there talking about how healthy she is, but she's morbidly obese, big boned. She's big boned. We all have the same size bones. Okay, my friend. I could see you in the mirror. Haha. Yeah, I know. That's the worst part. I don't like that. I don't like that you could see me there. Because if I'm out of camera, you could still see me there. So I could just do the whole stream like this. Hey, sup, guys? Right? I hate this fucking architecture, by the way, of the stupidity of this right here, where I mentioned the last stream. Oh, hey, it's a big house, right? It's a big house because you now have it looks big. You look at the size of it. Oh wait, it's not. It's a mirror. That's as long as it lasts for me to think that that illusion works. It doesn't fucking work. All you old ladies that bought real estate for peanuts back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and thought that was a great idea, you've wasted our time. You're now dead, and we're dealing with your shitty real estate woes. Okay? You could have bought multiple properties for the price. Yeah, I understand inflation's a thing, but at the same time, the housing market back then was tremendous. You could buy anything. You could have bought that house, given it to your kids, and then now what? Now you guys ruined it because you guys sat on it. Here's a copy paste of the Kelly Drinkwater obituary, known for radical fat feminist. I believe that. I believe that. Does she need two caskets? There you go. You need to buy one of those Daniel Madison mirrors with a delay on it. Yeah, I need to buy a subscription to After Effects. I don't think After Effects, what do you call this, works in real life. I don't know if After Effects I could purchase an After. How evil does this look, by the way, with this thing angled here? It looks kind of. Speaking of the Satanist vibes, right? Look at that. I should just keep it there, aimed that way. I think that's the best one. Watching from COVID-free Melbourne, Australia. New to cards, new to your channel. Love your work. Hey, what's up, Jason? What made you have the downward spiral in your life to decide card magic? I'm always curious to see people that just start with magic. What's odd, by the way, that I've noticed is a lot of people that have messaged me, for example, on the patron side of things, and they go, "Hey, man, I just started out." I'm like, "You started out and you decided to join the academy, man? Damn, bro, that's kind of nuts." I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but it's odd that you would, do that. Just based on I guess the videos that you watch on YouTube. To me, it's just it still blows my mind. But yeah, what made you take the downward spiral to decide to do card tricks? I'm always curious. Does somebody say my name? Says impunity. Oxymoron 45 says, "Hey guys, I'm new here." No, you're not. You fucking liar. No, you're not. I've seen you here. All right, in the DMs. I've seen you in the comments. Okay, you can't fool me. What are you lying? Is this some sort of joke? You think that this channel's a joke? Oxymoron, your name's a joke. All right, your name is a joke, literally, because there's zeros instead of letters. Oxymoron 45. There's another way to do the stream. I should just do it like this. Just uh at this corner. Honestly, I don't know why anybody watches this. Uh, hey, Pigcake, you have a big brain and good hair. Well, I've been using my Oxidil on my balding spots or my regressed hairline. I've been using my Oxidil, which has been working fine. I've noticed some new growth there, some like little things that I didn't see there before. So, the only problem is that you have to keep using it. Once you stop, once you start, you can't stop because then the hairs, number one, get disgusting and thin and fall out. So the Academy rocks. I read cards using a poker deck, and I wanted to learn some flourishes. I haven't done any flourishes yet. On that's what I've realized. I haven't done any flourishes on the Academy yet. I haven't dedicated certain parts to it. I mean, I know a bunch, but I don't think it has a place there. It had to probably be a separate thing. I started playing with cards at 38. I've always been a loser though. Just got over playing guitar, so I switched to cards. I will never forget this post on the Penguin Magic forums from back in the day, where some guy said, "Hey guys, uh, I've been playing guitar a lot, and I want to know, can playing guitar improve my magic? Like, can playing guitar improve my card tricks?" And some guy, I imagine, with the exuberance of an IRS auditor, responded by saying, "No, practicing card tricks." makes you better at cards. And I was like, ooh, this guy just got fucking rocked. Guitar Boy got rocked by this other loser in a Penguin Magic forum in 2007. Your brain is growing too much, pushing out all the hair follicles. That's not a good thing. I think that'll be a tumor. I think that'll be a tumor. At least playing guitar is cool. Yeah, right. It's definitely a lot cooler than having somebody go, "Oh, name a card, Ace of Spades. I got you." I'm touching your tit. I stole that joke from TikTok. I'm touching your titty right now. Pretend I'm touching your titty. Playing guitar is definitely cooler than that. But you have to play songs that not everybody knows. Like you can't just "Sweet Child of Mine" or "Stairway to Heaven." You got to play some like obscure shit, like hipster stuff, Tame Impala, things nobody knows about. I missed the top-down table format of your old videos. You should bring that back once or twice. The patented body table slam. Yeah, I have. I've done a couple videos, maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, that were just top down, and I go, "Hey guys, sup? Uh, Piggy here. Not racist. You guys might want." This is how it looks like, by the way. You guys are seeing how it looks like from this angle and how awkward it is for me. So I did a couple videos like that, but I prefer doing a I don't know, doing starting off the video extraordinarily close to the camera and saying something that could be perceived as racist or homophobic or transphobic or something controversial, like I can't think of anything right now. I couldn't think of it. Somebody give me a topic. We'll do this like an improv class. Let's see. Is this a live stream? Yeah, yeah, it is a live stream. You got to play obscure shit like Wonderwall. Yeah, that's the other one. That's the other one. You got to play obscure shit like Wonderwall and Danny California. And if you got a piano, Don't Stop Believing. That's one that's uncommon. Who doesn't know Tame Impala? That's the joke. The joke is that everybody knows Tame Impala, right? So it's that guy in the party that goes, yeah, you're not going to know this song. This song's so obscure. This song's very obscure. You're not going to know it." And it's the first riff to The Less I Know, the Better. Playing guitar is cool, but after 25 years, you get over playing the same old shit. It gets boring like everything else. I'm pretty damn good at it, though, if I say so myself. I was talking to the unfortunate Turner today, the worst person in the planet, worst mentalist in the planet, and I was telling him that if for some reason these videos came up of Bam Margera's theme song from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And then here's the worst part about the guy. Here's the fucking, he played it without even. He's like you name a song and he plays it without even question. He's go, "Oh, this one," and he just without even, so that's any song, which I hate about him. I hate the talent. Let's see, guys. I just found this little underground band called Queen. You've probably never heard of them. You know what the worst part is? Give it 15 years, and that's true. That's true. Give it 15 years, my friend, and you're gonna find that people are gonna go, "Freddie Mercury? What? No, well, let me hear this." And then they hear Bohemian Rhapsody as if it's crazy. Do you know that it goes over like 4 or 5 different genres of music? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I know, you fuck. Oh man, makes me want to Goldberg spear a child. Let's see this one. Mascophobic. There's nothing floating around in the air. That came out of nowhere. BVS, your last name rhymes with Saget. Okay. You have to upload the most recent Ham Radio episodes to Spotify because I watch every other episode. I don't know of any other podcast. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. But the last one was the piece of shit. The last one was actually, I was just telling Daniel, we're just talking on the phone about that. That was the worst episode I've ever done, just in terms of anger, in terms of not being, prepared for it. The venue was odd. I wasn't a fan of it. So you know what? Better than it's not uploaded there. See, I hate it when multiple people say no audio because then I believe it.
Better.
There's fucking audio, you cunt. But yeah, I haven't uploaded that one, but I should. I should. I should, even though, just for the sake of completion, right? I should upload it to Spotify or to wherever it is that it goes. But I didn't like that episode. We got to see when we're going to shoot the next one. I don't know, when our schedules align. Have you seen Daniel Madison's Chateau deck? Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think that's the trend now for decks. Is that sort of photography aesthetic? I think that's a new trend when it comes to decks of cards. Because I've seen maybe like 3 or 4 decks do that same exact thing. Of course, Maddie's looks good, right? His looks good, but still seemed a little bit odd in the sense of like putting a photo on a deck. But I mean, I haven't touched it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like, so I can't tell you that. Not Butcher the Pig said someone said Butcher. Nobody said Butcher, not Butcher the Pig. Okay, and we already know who the Butcher is. Okay, stop it. We know you're not Butcher. Okay, Butcher didn't show up because well, I was gonna say Butcher didn't show up because he's in an Antifa rally. Okay, that's why he doesn't show up here anymore. That's that's actually true. It's actually true. Butcher's in an Antifa rally. Oh man, God, that's probably the funniest thing I've said all stream. Oh God. Oh, I gotta breathe. Somebody said Butcher. Let's see, gotta be a great stream, boys. God damn it, the connection is dropping occasionally because I'm outside. Yes, it's not me. Okay, it's you. What's your favorite unmarked deck? Depends. I mean, usually the decks that I play with. You like these, by the way? The black ice inside of the house. That lets me know that, or lets you know that I live in an impoverished area. But non-gaff decks, I'm not sure. Non-mark decks, anything that's crush stock, because the cohorts are great, right? I've always liked those, but they're not common. Like you can't find them around. Like any deck that I think is crushed and you could find nearby. So if I could find that Walgreens and it's crushed, that's what I like. It doesn't matter the back design. So those are typically the ones that I like. But why not have them marked? Why not get a marked deck? You always have that benefit of being able to see the cards or see the markings on it. So, even if, for example, you let's say you didn't you missed, you pick a card, maybe you had a peek, you can just read the marking. But that with that comes certain, you have to have a marked deck on you, for example. Who said my name? Nobody said your fucking name. Nobody said your fucking name, Daniel. Nobody said your fucking name. Okay? The air fresheners give me this trying to hide the smell of decaying X vibe. Well, I think I mentioned it. My ex girlfriend, forever, she had my Stone Cold Steve Austin hat, right? That I found when I was working at a graduation years ago. So I was working on a graduation, right, for my previous employer, and I found a Stone Cold Steve Austin hat, like a very nice cap of Stone Cold Steve Austin from like WWF at the time, right? And she took it when she moved out. She took my hat, but then I don't want to say that I got it back, but the air fresheners do definitely cover up certain smells. And if you get enough of them, I've heard that it could even cover decaying flesh, if you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Did you get what I'm covers the scent of dead bitch? I like the evilness, right? Could you read, by the way? Let me hold up. Let me see if you could see the actual thing on the hat. So I'm gonna do this for a bit, and then see the delay, and then see if I could read the hat, because then the joke makes sense. Because the hat says Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, okay, that's funny. That's funny. That was funny. Okay, that was funny because you could read the hat. I thought that you couldn't read the hat, which wouldn't have made sense, but you could read the hat, so you understand that I got it back, right? The smell gets better over time. You get used to it. Does it smell like animals smell the same as humans, right? Like decaying animals. That's the scent. Whenever investigators are talking about, oh, I came in and I smelled that. That's the same scent, right? Like decaying carcass of animals, the same as decaying human, from my understanding. I've never been around a decaying body, but I would have to imagine they're the same. Any coroners, any people that deal in a mortuary, is that what it's called? Anyone here? Satchel says it's true. I'm a witness. Yeah, great, implicating yourself there. I get compliments when I shuffle decks. Thanks to you. Well, thank you, Cameron Can. That consonants or alliteration, which is a repetition. I forgot which one is a repetition of non-vowels. Consonants. Makes sense. I'm a retard. Stay in school, my friends. Let's see. So the thinner decks are better for Magic, like the new Copogs. Depends, because with thinner decks, certain things become easier. Cuts become way easier because you have less cards to deal with, right? Or what it feels like to be less cards to deal with. But certain moves like the pass might be easier with thinner cards. I'm trying to think of certain things that might be harder. Actually, never mind. I'm a retard. Thin decks really make everything easier. The thicker decks, like the old Copogs, they make everything harder because you're having to deal with what feels like to be 68 cards. Like I'm holding 68 cards. So the thinner, the better, in my experience. Now, the new Copogs, they are thin, they're crushed. They do have that linen finish, right? So they are tremendous. Um, but I don't know if I just like cards that are readily available, right? And for that, I have to order, I have to, wait, as opposed to just being able to go to the corner store and pick them up. So that's the shitty part. Do you have any EDC tricks? Most YouTube magicians say they carry cards all the time, which I find hard to believe. I don't find it hard to believe. I find that to be the most truthful statement that any magician would ever mention, that they would have my everyday carry, where I carry playing cards every day. I believe that. Um, but EDC shit, in terms of everyday carry shit, what are you gonna carry on you? You have, I was gonna say cards, right? I was gonna implicate myself. You carry keys, you carry a wallet, you carry a phone, right? So what can you do with those? On your phone, you can have a bunch of stuff. I have Inject. I have that Unlock app, which lets you, find their PIN code. Keys, you could have a key bender on your keys. You could have any number of tricks on your keys that work very well. I'm trying to think of other stuff in your wallet. You could have, certain things. You could have billets, right? Carry a small little space pen in there, so you could pretty much have a whole set in your wallet. But again, for me, it's in the sense of what doesn't seem like it's out of place. A deck of cards, out of place, right? If I take out a deck and I go, "Hey, watch this," right now, they haven't put the podcast out. We had an argument. I had an argument with the people from a Slights and Men, which is a podcast about magic in general, because we're talking about that I don't like carrying cards. I don't like the idea of carrying cards. And they're like, yeah, but I'm confident enough. The person was saying, I'm confident enough to be able to take a deck of cards and not feel guilty about it. But that's not me. To me, it's not about confidence. It's I don't want to have cards on me because I wouldn't carry cards on me normally. I'm not going to carry it just in a sense that I could perform. Doesn't seem like it's something that I would do. But I would just think, what could you have on you that you could seem like it's not anything crazy? For example, you could go the Garrett Thomas approach, where you have a jumbo coin here, a even bigger jumbo coin here, a set of $4 half here, or you could go the what's his name, Greg Wilson approach, where all the stuff that he has is covert. So he has covert gimmicks. He has stuff that doesn't necessarily stand out. He has a ring, for example, that he stretches. He has an e-cig that he could do smoke tricks. He has a lot of covert stuff. So that's the route that I would prefer. But I'm not thinking that if I'm going to a bar or something, I'm not thinking, oh, what can I take on me that could allow me to do tricks? If the opportunity arises, if for some reason I'm hammered enough to show a trick, I have the phone that has a bunch of stuff on it. Not phone tricks per se. Not like, hey, I'm chugging beer, or something that the phone is the main character. Something that the phone is on the peripheral. Like if I have you unlock my phone, it's less about the phone and more about the passcode, right? If I have you Google something on your phone, it's not about your phone. It's about the search query. It's about what you're looking up, right? Um, which is where I disagree, for example, with Rostami. He's the guy that made the app, but I don't like the way he does his own trick, because a lot of attention is on the phone. Hey, hold the phone between your hands. Okay, just hold the phone, and that's going to be my prediction. It's like it doesn't seem like it's an ordinary thing. Whereas if you say somebody, hey, do you know how this person looks like? I'll tell you what. Why don't you Google them on your phone, and get a real good image of how they look like. That to me seems normal. Where how else are you gonna look them up? Are you gonna have a computer? Are you gonna look them up on a fucking encyclopedia? No, you're gonna look it up on your phone. It makes sense. So the phone is not the focus. The phone is just the vehicle that carries the information. So that's just the way that I'll see it. So tricks like that, I guess you could do part of EDC per se. But to me, decks is just a different thing. Like to take a deck of playing cards out, who carries this on you? Not even gamblers have cards on them. The only people that carry cards on them are magicians that want to perform, or professional magicians if you're at a gig, which is fine. It's understandable. The point of like the environment is that you're doing tricks, right? So it's understood in the context of the environment. But if I'm at fucking TGI Fridays, what's this? Like, why do I have a deck of playing cards? To me, it doesn't make much sense. A lot of people disagree with that, and they have valid reasons. They have very good reasons in their opinion, but I just think it's not a good thing to carry on you. People are, you only get a first impression once. And me personally, if I just get to know you and you take out, imagine if you're doing IT, and I ask you what it is that you're doing, right, or what is it that you do for a living, and we get into that conversation. You go, oh yeah, I do IT. Look, here's the router. What? Okay, that's weird. Whereas a magician, you should be able to do stuff without like overt things. Like, oh, you want to see something? What do you have in the place around you? Like, learn tricks with things that are ordinary that you could pick up and do something with, like a sugar packet or a napkin or a knife or a coaster. But to have a fucking deck, most businesses, every establishment has business cards. You could just grab a stack of them and do stuff with that, right? Then that seems like it doesn't mean unprepared, right? So unplanned doesn't mean unprepared. So if you are in an establishment that it's already known that you're a magician and you're already, it's a professional gig, that's a different circumstance. But I'm saying socially, it's just a weird thing to me to have a deck of cards on you. I just joined the academy, says Dane Smith. Hey, thank you for joining. I hope you find the information there enjoyable. I need to reshoot the welcome video, by the way. I need to reshoot that welcome video because the welcome video was before I showed my face. So it's like this. Hey guys, thank you for joining the academy. I appreciate it, but you got to check this out. So I got to reshoot it so you could actually see my mug, as opposed to the because you see my face now, as opposed to before when I was terrified of my face showing anywhere. But yeah, IT pro, start carrying routers on you. Let people know. And to me, that's the same thing. Like, okay, I get it. You do this. If you're a magician, yeah, you should be able to perform, but you should be able to perform without having to. Imagine if somebody says, "Hey, what do you do?" SpongeBob. Let me take out a SpongeBob from my pocket and show you something. Or let me take a coin purse out with 4 coins in it. Hey, could you examine these, please? Why do you have that in your pocket? Why do you have a coin purse with 4 Morgan silver dollars in your pocket, Chad? Why? Now I'm looking at a coin trick from your purse. It just doesn't make sense. You're welcome. That video is fine. I sometimes even miss your humor on Patreon. I don't have a lot of humor on Patreon, believe it or not. And that's something that I've gotten a lot of messages on. It's like, dude, how are you so different on Patreon than you are here? Because if you're paying me to learn tricks from me, I'm going to be very serious about the craft. And I'm going to be very, stuck to showing you what it is. And yeah, humor here and there, but not like, dick jokes or something that could be misconstrued. Max Gibson says 100% agree. And you bring up the one scene that I keep reminding people about, which is, I think, the best indicator of normal people and how they see magicians. The scene is from a 40-year-old virgin, right? Steve Carell is playing the role of a 40-year-old virgin, and he has a magic ear, a big ear, and then a giant coin. And then he pulls the giant coin from the girl's ear and goes, "Whoa, yeah, you must have a really big ear," and then pulls the ear from behind her ear. And she goes, "So what, you just carry a coin and ear all day, like in your pocket?" I'm like, yeah, it's one of those moments that you go, that's how people perceive a magician that has those weird things on them. So you carry that all day on you just in the hopes that somebody would ask you to show them a trick, and then you show them a trick. Some people are fine with that. I'm not. But that's the scene that I always remind people of to watch, just to humble them in terms of their ego when it comes to Magic. Yeah, it's great to be able to use somebody else's deck. And here's the one that people laugh at me for, which is okay. So when it comes to tricks, you could plant a deck of cards. If it's a bar, certain bars have games. You could plant a deck of cards at the bar. You could plant it at a table. You could plant it anywhere you want. You could bring it on you, right? But it's not your deck. It's not something that you took out of your pocket and you're performing with. So you could put it somewhere and go, oh, I usually do card tricks. I'll tell you what, is there a deck over there? We'll do something with that. Bring that one over, right? Like that seems more natural because it's part of the environment. It's not something that you brought to the environment. So I don't have an issue with you carrying a deck of cards around and then maybe putting it in a certain situation where you could then get it and go, hey, was that yours? Is that the bars? We'll use that, I guess. It's probably shit. But that way you don't have to have it on you. But I've gotten laughed at with people saying, "Oh, so you don't mind planting it?" No, of course not, because then it's a different context. It's a different situation. If you take it out of your pocket, it implies that I have a deck of cards in my pocket that I carry for this just scenario, which I don't want people to think that. But if I could grab the deck from the bar, that's fine. Also, people might have something. Oh, so gimmicks. You don't carry any gimmicks. No, no, because there's a difference between overt and covert. If you have an overt gimmick, this to me is an overt gimmick, a deck of cards. If I have this on me and I take it out of my pocket, it's an overt gimmick, right? So it's something that you've seen. It's something that I've now introduced to the scenario myself. If I have a thumb tip, that's a covert gimmick. You don't know what I have. You don't know that it's there. So I have that in my pocket. I could do, thousands of tricks with a covert gimmick, right? A deck of cards can become a covert gimmick if you plant it. If you put it there in the environment, if it's a bar, if they have games, if you could just put it there and it makes sense, you're not gonna plant a deck in fucking Cheesecake Factory. But I've gone to certain bars and now it's like a hipster thing where it's high end bars, but they have playing cards. They have cards there, you know, and you could play around with that. So covert gimmicks, you have you can have an IT reel, you could have a thumb tip, you could have, but by all means, don't get fucking caught. I think this whole argument goes out of the it goes blown out when imagine you do a trick where you make something vanish with a thumb tip and they go you have a fake thumb. So now not only are you the guy that carries fake thumbs around, you have a fake thumb. You got caught, you got busted. Can you fucking imagine? That's worse than taking out a coin purse with coins in it because now you have this hidden thing that you were trying to hide from me that I caught you with. You dirty virgin. Organic magic would be a great addition to the academy. I've been learning some cool things with napkins. Yeah, there's some things that I've had in terms of different sects of it, right? Like different types of things that I wanted to open it up with, not just card stuff. I have a whole coin thing there, but I haven't updated that one in forever because the coin stuff is not my strongest bits. But I do have some ideas on coin work. But I do love that idea of just stuff around you. Like, what can you do with shit around you? That's a good creative exercise that I find myself doing all the time. Is limit yourself. So I'm sitting down in a place. What can I do now? Right? And you know what the worst one is? I remember in the line of Universal, I was in Universal, and I didn't have anything on me, and I was like, okay, so what can I do now? If somebody came up to me naked and said, "Show me a trick or I kill you," and here's the worst part: I came up with this on my own, and then I found out that people had it. Thousands of people already fucking made this. But this thing, right? I was like, if I bend my finger this way, I can make it look like I'm holding it. So I'm like, oh, I could just take it and pull it out. I could just do that. So then, and obviously I look it up and I'm like, okay, so everybody and their mother has had a method for this. But through that limitation, I had that wonderful idea, right? So you limit yourself. You're sitting in a restaurant. You have sugar packets. You have straws. You have knives. You have napkins. What can I do with this? I'm in a bar. There's a glass. There's a coaster. What can I do with this? That's not out of the ordinary. Well, that is out of the ordinary, but isn't something that, oh, hey, I have this deck of cards. Take one out. So that's a good creative exercise. Something I found myself doing everywhere I go. I'm holding a can. What can I do with this can? Like, what? How can I fuck with this can somehow? You know? So that's a good, interesting, creative assignment that you could do to yourself anywhere you go. Really, you're in school, you're in class, you're holding a pencil, you're looking at a screen. What can you do? And what is it that you could actually, if somebody put a gun to your head, how could you show them something interesting with what you have around you? And sometimes it's nothing. So what could you do with nothing? And sometimes you'll come up with that shit, and it'll be an interesting idea. Sometimes it's shit, but either way, it's still a good creative exercise. Somebody said fleshlight. Yeah, don't get caught with your fleshlight when you're performing because then people know that you're a sexual deviant and a pervert. If you bust out your fleshlight and you go, "Hey, do you know what this is?" Yeah, watch this. Look, you like that? You guys like that? That'd be tremendous. You just use it in front of a family at Denny's. It's great to use somebody else's deck. Piggy, how many people are watching your stream? I died reading that. I just died reading whatever that word salad was. Thank you for that, CJG. Steve Carell, yeah, read that one. Ring coins, cards. Piggy carries silks. Yeah, that's the other one. I don't know what's worse, if you're carrying silks or sponge balls on you. Silks or sponge balls? Which one's worse? Let me know. Let me know. Let's trick the YouTube algorithm. But which one's worse? If you're a layperson, right? Let's say you're a layperson, you're doing tricks for an individual, and or sorry, you're a layperson, and this individual says, "I do magic tricks." What's worse? If he busts out a set of sponge balls, or if he goes, "Okay, we'll just do something with the silk." Watch. What's worse, right? And those are two very plausible scenarios. Very plausible scenarios where an individual says, "Hey," or "Oh, I do magic tricks," and you go, "Oh, show me some," and they go, "Okay." So I'll tell you what, hold your hand out. I have these pieces of sponge, right? I have two. So go ahead, hold one in your hand, one in mine. Watch. Now you have two. What's worse, that or this? Show you something? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Watch. Look. Watch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Silk equals glasses cleaner, so it's the clown nose. Yeah, but nobody, I don't think I've ever seen anybody take a silk as a glass cleaner. They have the little microfibers, right? So are you going to do something with that? Maybe a microfiber cloth? You could treat it as a silk trick, per se. You could probably use that as a silk, like in place of a silk. But I'm sure that there's a group of magicians that will take out an actual, like a fucking fluorescent, vibrant, beautiful washed silk, which is, it's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. You know how in college, 1 out of 4 females get molested, right? That's a real statistic. It's true. 1 out of 4 females get molested in college. So if you have a room of 8 people, 2 of those have gotten violently raped. They've gotten stared at. They've gotten catcalled. Those are all rape. It's a real thing, guys. Same thing with magicians. If you're in a room with 100 magicians, 30 of them are probably carrying sponge balls or silks in their pockets. That's a scary idea. Like that's a scary thought. Piggy, it's like asking which ball would you like an Amazonian kicked, or or you say both balls. What if you like getting kicked in the balls? What if you like CBT on Pornhub, huh? And you enjoy watching that category where they kick you and you go, yeah, I like that, right? So that's not a bad thing. So that's a terrible comparison to make. Silks definitely sponge balls are gay, but they're visual, so you could cross language barriers. Silks are a prop which lay people associate with the idea of lame magicians. Same thing with sponge balls, though. Sponge balls don't make sense. They don't exist in the planet. Where do they exist? Where do they exist? You tell me. Because a sponge ball doesn't. It's a clown nose. Does that exist as a clown nose? Why do you have a clown nose on you? Are you a clown? No. Then why do you have a clown nose on you? Right? A silk, I guess. But the other one that I've mentioned before is a cum. I read cum, so it shows you where my head is. But as a substitute, you could have a napkin that you ball up and you could do sponge ball tricks. You could have a sugar packet that you ball up and you could do sponge ball tricks. You could do anything that you could crumble up into a small ball. You could do sponge ball tricks. So why carry sponge balls? God damn it, right? A silk, I guess you could do napkin stuff with a silk. You could do with, as Hanai mentioned, a glasses cleaner, right? A little microfiber cloth. I wouldn't say use a silk as a glasses cleaner, but you could take out and do silk things with that. That's something normal, right? But a sponge ball only exists as a fucking clown nose. What am I gonna? Oh, here, guys, this is rabbit poop. Hold it in your hand. Look, watch. My rabbit poop's gone. Now you have two rabbit poops. Ooh, yeah, crazy, right? Give it back. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I got a gig there. Yes. Fuck yeah. Got that gig, dude. Dude, they reacted so good. Fuck. Fuck yeah. That's how I imagine a magician. Um, that's a magician. Okay, so this is my imitation of a magician that just did sponge balls where one vanished from his hand and appeared in the other person's hand. This is my imitation. You ready? I just did it. I just did it, by the way. So it's just a rehashing of that. But watch, like, this is my imitation. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Yes. Pussy. I'm getting. Yes. Yes. Fuck. Nailed it. That's me doing a magician that just nailed a sponge ball trick. You know which one's great, by the way? If you ever watch World's Greatest Magic, this one's great. You ready? Look. After any stage trick, that's every magician. Every magician after a stage trick, that's them. Out of breath, with their tits out. God, it's so bad. Watch World's Greatest Magic on YouTube. That's what you're going to see. I'm going to probably end this in a bit here, but we'll see if I can answer a couple more. Let's see. Kids can like sponge balls and rabbits. What's the emotional connection with a silk? Oh, there you go. Put it this way: if you could do sponge tricks at a children's birthday party, but you would ever get out of silk in your pocket and expect to get laid afterwards. Well, okay, here's a problem, right? Now people might say, "Oh, so at a kid's party, you're not gonna have sponge balls." It's a kid's party where you're hired as a magician. The context is different, right? The context is different. If you're in a bar and you take out sponge balls, that's a big issue with me. You're gonna get Goldberg speared through the ground. All right, you take out a fucking sponge ball at a bar, but again, the context dictates that you are a magician that's working at the gig, and you're gonna have props on you, so it makes sense. That's fine, right? At that point, yes, okay, have sponge balls, but don't carry sponge balls in your pocket. I feel like I'm doing a Maniscalco there, Sebastian Maniscalco. What's with the sponge balls? You got them in your pocket. They get lint all over them. You take them out of your pocket, there's pubic hairs all over my sponge balls. What's going on with that? Huh? Magicians? Thing with this? You take out a silk? What are you, on the Silk Road? That's my Sebastian Maniscalco. I don't know if you guys enjoyed that one. If you're familiar with Sebastian Maniscalco, but that's my Sebastian Maniscalco. Deals with a magician. What's with the sponge balls in the pocket? I think I'm gonna end it there. That was a good one. Oh boy, thank you guys for joining, man. It really does mean a lot. I want to do these streams twice a week, Wednesday and Sundays preferably, or Thursday and Sundays. Today's Thursday, but yesterday was a day, right? But why not? Why not do these? I think it's great. But thank you guys for joining, man. Thank you guys for checking this one out. It's always a hot one to have people to talk to. That sounded lonely. But it's always great to have people to talk to, right? But apart from that, I do appreciate you guys sticking around. I don't know if I mentioned any videos in this particular video that you guys should watch, apart from World's Greatest Magic, right? That's some good homework to do. I mentioned the bottom deal early on in the video, so check that one out. The people that were interested in the bottom deal, the immediate bottom deal. Boy. But apart from that, yeah, thank you guys. Oh, TED Talk. Yeah, you're right. TED Talk with the big one, the big girl, the whatever her name was that passed away. But apart from that, man, don't make another Columbine happen. Don't make another Columbine happen.